their location and relationship with the environment. Consistent with the Botswana Land Policy of 2015 and the provisions of the Town and Country Planning Act of 2013, government intends to declare the whole country as a planning area. Settlement clusters are thus being progressively declared as planning areas as opposed to single settlements. The Land Administration Processes, Capacity Building and Systems LAPCAS program is progressing. As of October this year, a total of 682,902 or 83% of the targeted 826,000 plots have been surveyed. The Deeds Registry has further scanned 199,000 out of the targeted 503,000 records. Work is also ongoing to register customary land allocations at the Deeds Registry. New land title documents with security features will be issued to all landholders during the course of 2017. This will lead to improved security of tenure and access to finance by landholders. In our efforts to avail service land for different uses, a number of initiatives and projects have been carried out. The construction of the Palapi Extension Level project involving 3,000 plots is nearing its completion. We are also exploring avenues for greater private sector participation in land servicing. The development of the land information system to computerize land delivery processes has progressed with the coming online of the first 4 modules: Deeds Registry, Plot and Plan, Land Applications, and Land Transactions. The land information system will also integrate with the following organizational systems: the Independent Electoral Commission, the OMANG, the Government Accounting and Budgeting System GAPS, and Botswana Unified Revenue Services BERS. In general, Botswana have responded positively to the new land policy. Land information is a foundation for development, allowing for effective and efficient management of resources as well as transparent decision making. The country is therefore being continuously mapped and surveyed to identify development needs. Government continues to support the youth empowerment programs by allocating plots for various uses by youth. From April 2015 to March 2016, a total of 8,144 plots were thus allocated for different purposes to the youth. Housing delivery. Adequate and affordable housing continues to be a core government priority. We are continuing our implementation of the social housing program that includes the low-income housing program, installment purchase scheme, and youth housing program, which together provide for low-income and less privileged groups. Since November 2015, government funded a total of 1,546 projects through the SHA scheme improvement loans, and 725 of these units have been completed. On the other hand, the Turnkey Development Scheme funded a total of 2,867 houses. The Integrated Poverty Alleviation and Housing Scheme targets people that are below the SHA threshold. Through its beneficiaries, among the less privileged throughout the country are enrolled into the brick molding projects and encouraged to save on a monthly basis towards building their own houses. The construction of housing units under the Installment Purchase Scheme and Youth Housing Scheme and Public Offices Housing Initiatives is ongoing. Over 600 of the planned 750 housing units are under these schemes are being constructed in Gaborone. Government has further accelerated social housing through ESP, which is to deliver 4,481 units. And the total, of course, is comprised by the SHA, Turnkey, Public Offices Housing, BHC, Third-Party Housing, SHA, Home Improvement, and, as I've stated, the Installment and Youth Housing Schemes. Since the inception of ESP, construction of 3,092 units has commenced, with 508 having been completed so far. In addition, the District Housing Program complements other social welfare programs, providing decent shelter for the needy. In order to make a bigger impact, the budget provision for this financial year was doubled from 45 million pula to 90 million. The total number of houses to be constructed is 1,000, where 332 will be for beneficiaries in remote area communities alone, while the 678 will be spread across different villages. Construction of these houses has started and they will be completed by the end of this financial year. Madam Speaker, government's efforts to provide shelter for those in need is further supplemented by non-government institutions and individuals. In this context, I'm pleased to report that as of last month, 677 houses have been completed and handed over to the President's Housing Appeal, thus exceeding its original target of 600. Let me take this opportunity to once more thank all those who have generously devoted their time as well as their money to this initiative. Moving forward, the housing needs assessment to determine the nationwide demand for affordable housing is underway and should be completed by April 2017. It will provide a basis for future housing strategies and goals. I'm also pleased to note that the number of housing-related jobs envisaged at the beginning of the ESP was 5,070, while in fact the current employment figure stands at 12,360. The police service. Madam Speaker, the Botswana Police Service plays a pivotal role in the realization of public service through its integrated policy of visible policing and effective stakeholder partnerships. In this regard, the Botswana Police Service continuously strengthens its policing cluster committees while engaging police volunteers and special constables. These efforts have been accompanied by an improvement of service delivery process such as police response, provision of feedback and investigation of reported crimes. Through these initiatives, the Botswana Police Service has realized a reduction in violent, intrusive and serious crimes from 94 incidents recorded per 1,000 population in 2011 to 67 per 1,000 in 2015. Policy and law reforms are also fundamental in dealing with society's criminal elements. The enactment of the Forensic Procedures Act has opened the door to modern investigation technologies to aid the detection of crime. The Act also provides for the creation of a database of convicts for offences with a custodial term of not less than 12 months. The bringing into force of other acts such as counterterrorism, proceeds and instruments of crime, and anti-human trafficking has also brought new dimensions in the fight against crime. Madam Speaker, the Anti-Trafficking Act commenced on the 1st of January. I can further inform this Honourable House that a draft national action plan detailing strategies to combat human trafficking in Botswana is being developed. Like all other modern-day organizations, the police is exploring ways to fully benefit from advances in technology. To this end, the process of introducing technologies to policing under the Safer City program, which uses closed-circuit television, is at an advanced stage. A cybercrime and computer forensics unit has also been established and is already assigned to tackle abuse of social media, fraud schemes, and attacks against information infrastructure. Madam Speaker, while it is pleasing to note that road accident risk went down from 41.8 accidents per 1,000 vehicles in the year 2011 to now 29.6 in 2015, the safety of road users continues to be an issue of national concern. A total of 17,654 road traffic accidents were recorded in 2015. The principal cause of these was careless and inconsiderate driving, which accounted for 74% of the accidents, followed by collisions with domestic and wild animals, 11%, unlicensed drivers, 4%, and alcohol-impaired driving at 3.6%. A common denominator in almost all of these accidents is overspeeding, which has been identified as the key risk factor in road traffic injuries. Turning to justice. For the period under review, the judiciary commenced construction of the Kanye Magistrate Court and staff houses and the expansion of Broadhurst Magistrate Court. Both projects are expected to have been completed by June 2017. Courts were also established in Kang, Nata, and Shakawe. These new courts have reduced the distance many of our people travel to access justice, while the 5 mobile traffic courts now reach most parts of Botswana. The Administration of Justice has also set up the Law Reporting Unit, which should reduce the current backlog in the publication of the Botswana law reports. To improve the transcription of court proceedings, the judiciary has procured digital stenograph machines, which allows for data networking. Madam Speaker, Legal Aid Botswana now has 5 permanent centers from which indigent citizens are assisted in a variety of civil cases. Coming to the Attorney General's performance and the Directorate of Public Prosecutions, they have maintained an average success rate of above 80% while continuing to implement strategies to expedite the disposal of cases. Corruption prevention. Madam Speaker, I'm pleased to report that the 20th year in a row, for the 20th year in a row, Botswana was cited by Transparency International as being the least corrupt country in Africa, as well as among the least corrupt countries in the world, being ranked 28 out of the 168 countries. I thank you for the patriotic applause. Coming 28 this year out of 168 has moved us up 3 places from the previous year. To further strengthen our zero tolerance commitment to fighting corruption, the Whistleblowing Act was approved in July 2016. The Act provides protection for those who helped expose abuses while providing clear guidance on reporting procedures. To enhance our prevention efforts, the Directorate on Corruption and Economic Crime, DCEC, is constantly examining processes and procedures in public institutions to identify areas of risk and recommend remedial measures. In partnership with the University of Botswana, DCEC has also established a Botswana Business Ethics Forum. The prison service. Madam Speaker, there's been a significant reduction in prison overcrowding. As of July 2016, the average prisoner population was 4,376 inmates, which is against the authorized holding capacity of 4,337. Prison security has in the meantime been enhanced. Bohosi. Government will continue to enhance and strengthen Bohosi to effectively discharge its mandates. Efforts are thus being made to improve the working conditions and avail resources to the Department of Tribal Administration. Through ESP, a total of 30 customary court offices are under construction in 9 districts across the country. Coming to the Ombudsman, Madam Speaker, during the 2015-16 financial year, the Ombudsman received and investigated 882 complaints while resolving 624. The Ombudsman Office has also focused on the amendment of the Ombudsman Act to provide a functional structure to support its expanded human rights mandate. A branch office in Maun was opened in May 2016 to serve the Ngamiland and Hansi districts, and an additional office in Sabong is planned for the next financial year. Botswana Defence Force. Madam Speaker, the onslaught of non-traditional security threats, such as terrorism and cybersecurity, has intensified across the globe. In response, the Botswana Defence Force shall remain focused on improving its capability to meet these threats both now and into NDP 11. The commitments are reflected in the BDF's now concluded restructuring exercise as well as ongoing re-equipping. Its key strategic priorities are investing in human capital, maintaining a people-centric force, improving operational capacity, optimization of infrastructure, and improvement of systems and processes. In dealing with poaching, the BDF has leveraged technology to improve its surveillance, target acquisition, and response. There's been further efforts by the BDF to respond to its challenges in the areas of accommodation and infrastructure. Accommodation projects have been completed and others are ongoing in different garrisons and base camps, especially targeting soldiers at the lower ranks who have been severely affected in the past. This is being facilitated by the ESP. Coming now to culture development. Madam Speaker, the President's Day competitions serve to promote the diverse cultural traditions in our country. The program currently has 30 major visual and performing arts categories with 27 subcategories. In the 2016-17 financial year, 18,971 people participated in the competitions as compared to 14,000 in 2015-16. It is our policy to ensure that these programs play a dual role of promoting local culture and heritage while generating income for artists. Government also continues to intensify its support to community cultural events, which are held in the various districts around the country. A total of 1,617 artists participated at these events, which offer traditional song and dance, contemporary music, traditional instruments and attire, parades, arts and crafts exhibition. Thank you. Sports development. Madam Speaker, participation in sports competitions has many socio-economic benefits while further enhancing our national unity and pride. In this connection, we shall continue to fund the promotion of sport excellence and a strong sporting culture for our people. This includes infrastructure development and maintenance, youth in sports programs, and sports competition at various levels. The 4th edition of the Botswana Games was hosted in December 2015 in Francistown. At the Games, 13 sporting codes with a total of 2,069 athletes from all the 16 districts participated. Since its inaugural meeting in 2007, the Games have been a vehicle for identifying and nurturing talent from young age people and for building capacity for activities. On the international stage, we have seen Botswana rise from being a sporting unknown to now a global player. Botswana athletes continue to raise our flag high in various international competitions. Next year in July, we shall be hosting the Netball World Youth Cup. To further improve participation in sports, government has facilitated the development of open-air gyms and the improvement of community sports fields. These 3 such gyms have now been completed in Gaborone in Francistown and are now open to the public, while improvements of community sports fields are being carried out at 9 centers. Let me further use this opportunity to encourage all Botswana to take part in the National Fitness Exercise, which are scheduled for the second week of every month. All Botswana. International relations. Madam Speaker, Botswana continues to be an active and influential player on diverse issues of national interest at bilateral, regional, and multilateral fora. As the member of the community of nations that cherishes freedom, peace, good governance, and the full enjoyment of life, it is in our strategic interest to contribute towards addressing the increasing global challenges of climate change, food security, conflict, terrorism, and transnational crime. We continue to be deeply concerned by the growing number of armed conflicts in various parts of the world. For example, in the case of Syria, we note that according to the International Committee of the Red Cross, protracted fighting has already caused over 250,000 deaths and 1.5 million casualties, while resulting in the displacement of some 12.5 million people. The escalation of conflicts in the Middle East and elsewhere, along with the blatant violations of universal values by some, is quite disheartening. We shall therefore continue to appeal to others in the international community, particularly at the level of the United Nations Security Council, to step up to our collective efforts to bring an end to this ongoing transnational disaster. We have reaffirmed our commitment to the International Criminal Court and international criminal justice system. We are furthermore at an advanced stage in domesticating the Rome Statute and making it part of our national laws. Consistent with our commitment to uphold international peace and security, in April 2016, Botswana was elected a member of the African Union Peace and Security Council for a period of 2 years. We are also pleased to have been re-elected as a member of the United Nations Human Rights Council, which is a clear manifestation of the respect we enjoy in the international community. We have further remained engaged in finding solutions to peace and security challenges in our own sub-region. In the context of my chairmanship of SADC, convened 2 subjects of the SADC double tracker, which are aimed at addressing instability in some of our member states. Also, as SADC chairperson, I also convened 3 ministerial workshops to deliberate on the challenges experienced in SADC relating to food insecurity and poverty eradication, water and energy, as well as curbing the illegal trade in wildlife. These workshops culminated in the drafting strategies that were subsequently adopted at this year's summit. The progress we have made over the past 50 years has been facilitated by the generous assistance we have received from our international partners. I therefore take this opportunity once again, and I will never tire from doing so, to once again acknowledge and thank all of those countries, and international organizations, including private institutions and individuals who have supported us in our development journey. Yesterday, our hearts were with the Cuban people as they said their final farewell to their former President Fidel Castro, who will be forever remembered for his steadfast support of our region's liberation. We in Botswana shall remain further grateful for the generous assistance that we have continued to receive from the government and people of Cuba, especially in the areas of medical personnel, sports, and human development. This contribution is all the more remarkable given that Cuba itself is a developing nation. In conclusion, Madam Speaker, let me conclude my remarks by once more observing that we as a people are standing on the launch pad to greater heights. Our 50th anniversary celebrations this year were a reminder of not only past achievements, but also our potential for greater things if we remain united and focused in our shared aspiration to build a better Botswana. The domestic impact of the continued volatility in global markets was, however, a stark reminder of the risks we face in our progress. Over the past year, our unity and patriotic commitment as a nation was symbolized by the wearing of our national colors of blue, white, and black. Moving forward, I take this opportunity to call on Botswana to continue to make every Friday our National Colors Day. To be a reminder of where we have been and where we wish to go as a united and proud people. In achieving our vision for a better future, while overcoming our current challenges, it is not enough that we have sound plans and a practical as well as positive long-term vision. To succeed, we must become much more urgent in our delivery. This is a daily challenge for all of us, both inside and outside government. Over-reliance on the state is not a sustainable, much less optimal path to 2036. As we chart this path forward, as we chart our path forward, let us also be mindful and continue to seek the blessings of the Lord who makes all things humanly possible. As a nation united under God's mercy, I would like to encourage religious leaders to continue to join together in organizing common prayers for rains and the well-being of the nation. Finally, let me take this opportunity to wish everyone in this nation a joyous and safe Christmas holiday season and a happy new year to come. May God bless you all.